Alright, so in this one, I want to go over the topic of, is Legends starting to actually balance Zenkais? So if we look at the last 3 Zenkais, right? So it's Turles, Ginyu, and Piccolo. And maybe if you want to look at Ginyu, then we look at the last 3 summonable, which would be, again, Turles, Piccolo, and this GT Kid Goku, right? 3 Zenkais, and honestly, to be fair, all of them are okay. And that's good. Like, that's phenomenal. All of them are okay. None of them are LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. None of them are Super Gogeta level. None of them are Namek Goku, LF Gohan. The list goes on. None of them are game-breaking level. If you don't know, Turles came out after Revival Gohan came out. And who's the better unit to run? Revival Gohan or Turles? Let's say, for argument's sake, your Turles is the same stars as mine, right? You have that free Z2, which I'll get into later. You get from his event from doing, fighting this enemy or fighting using this guy, whatever. You get free Z2 after a course of however many days, just like with Piccolo. You have that, then you have Revival Gohan, who, let's, for argument's sake again, let's say he's at, I don't know, 3 stars, right? Because, maybe you pulled him twice, you got lucky. Cool, great. Who's better? This Turles at 9 or Gohan at 3? Gohan at 3. No doubt in my mind, Gohan at 3 would be better. It's not even an argument, can't even compete. This Turles is fine, he's good, right? He's nothing, I can't say the word great, and that's good. Like, I can't emphasize this is a great thing that it's a, video about. Like, this is a good video. This actually, complimenting Legends, which, trust me, it's rare if you've ever seen anything else I post about this channel. This is good. This Zenkai, these last 3, have not been anything abhorrent. Again, the comparison of, let's say, for argument's sake, again, Kid Buu to Kamikolo. Who is better? A 3-star Kid Buu, or, let's say here, a 14-star Kamikolo, because he's been out a lot longer, been out a lot more banners. Who's better? Kamikolo is worse. Kid Buu is better. That is a good thing. Now, to look at, let's say, GT Goku, it's a little bit weird, because who came out that really is in, let's say, I don't know, replacement of him, right? To even look here, we could go by order received, and who's come out recently that's like, okay, he could be that red option for that team. No one. Literally no one. Like, in recent history, besides another Zenkai, has come out that's a red GT or a red Saiyan that this guy's, competing against or with. So we can compare him to, let's say, the red units that already exist that are Zenkais, right? So LF Gohan, does he replace him? No. It's a Zenkai versus Zenkai, but it's an LF, so I guess that argument's fine. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, does he replace him? No. Okay, I mean, it should be that a newer Zenkai should replace the older Zenkai, but sure, that's not the worst thing. And then let's say Super Gogeta, does he replace him? No. Okay, they kind of just watered him down. I think they just released him for, okay, we're buffing GT, here's another GT buff. If you missed out Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, here you go, have this GT Kid Goku that you really probably won't run because Androids isn't really thriving, and he does more to Androids, and he kind of is a slow build because he wants more Dragon Balls, he wants to do all this extra shit where Vegeta just, you swap in, you do blast, Vegeta hurts them, right? This Kid Goku is more specific, and the more specific, the harder to use the unit, which is what I want to talk about with Kamikolo here, right? Kamikolo does more to future and wherever it is, androids, or androids. So he's like, let's say you fight Revival Cell. He won't do 100% blast damage inflicted, right? He'll do just 50. It's or. So if it was and, it would be like, okay, well, Android 17 from the future would take 100% more. But no, it is 50% to either or, not combined, it is 100%. No, just in case anyone's confused on that. I feel like they're trying to make that a thing now, and it's kind of, again, Legends and Dokkan are very comparable in what they do sometimes, right? It's very Dokkan-esque. To explain, let's say if you play Dokkan, they released a Dead Army Frieza, and what he is meant to do is when he's on a certain category, and with certain allies, he's going to be at his peak, his prime. Even the Final Form Frieza that has his eyes shut because he got blasted by Goku. He does a lot more when he is against a Goku enemy, right? It's kind of the same thing that Legends is doing here with these two Zenkais that we got, because you have GT Goku who wants to do more against androids. He's going to do great against androids. Then you have this Piccolo who can do fine against non-androids, but he wants to fight it off against androids in future. Now, is it really the biggest, need to run this guy when androids in future aren't meta? No. The meta is Saiyans, right? So Kid Buu does more to Saiyans. Regen is also the meta. Regen, Kid Buu does more to Regen. Hybrids are also meta, but their main unit is a red, Kid Buu's a blue. Same thing with this Kamikolo. They kind of have that discrepancy where, okay, Kid Buu for now is better in this circumstance because how the meta is, and overall his unit kit himself is just better. Even at low stars, Kid Buu is better than Kamikolo. Now, Turles doesn't have this situation. Like, even if we look here, like, he might do extra damage to a certain tag. Yeah, Sun Family and Saiyans, but the thing is, that's actually relevant to the entire game. Like, this will never be bad, right? Because Saiyans will always be meta. If you don't know, it's Dragon Ball, right? Saiyans are kind of the main protagonists of the series. You look at a Goku, maybe, a Vegeta, we kind of have them as the main protagonists, and they're always going to be meta relevant. So this unique of, okay, he's restricted to doing more to these, it really isn't restrictive. Maybe when, that 1 or 2 months of the shine of LOE happens, then this guy won't be run as often if you don't have Revival Gohan. And even in this situation, people don't have this Turles Zenkai 7, right? People just didn't do it because they have Revival Gohan. They know how broken he is. But in this circumstance, you do. Let's say LOE's meta, let's say Regen's meta, and let's say, for argument's sake, it's only Android, Regen, and LOE meta. Well, this guy will be irrelevant, right? Revival Gohan, overall, kit-wise, again, this is the whole argument, kit-wise is a better unit than this Turles. Now, this Turles can do fine, right? I think this Turles, of the three, is probably the most consistent because, again, against Sun Family and Saiyans, that's the most prominent tags in the game currently, right? You're not really going to not face one of those two tags every single, if not every other match. I think Turles is the most consistent of the three Zenkais we're pointing out here, since, I guess, the balance of them has started happening. He'll do decent damage, he'll do good damage. We have to just pop a lot of green cards, which with him, it's not really hard. On his teams, it's not really hard because you have, let's say DBS Frieza, he draws greens. Let's say, I don't fucking know, Red Gogeta has card draw speed. Okay, well, he could draw greens quicker. This guy will draw green on main and all that. So him being this consistent will make him good enough to run, just not on the level of the LFs. Now, why are they doing this? It's kind of funny. There's two arguments you can make as to why they're doing this. One is very bad, and one is very good. Now, we'll go over the good one first, right? Why are they making these Zenkais actually balanced to where the LF is better than the Zenkai? Because again, Kamikolo is worse than Kid Buu, even at 3 stars in the meta we are in. And then Turles is definitely worse in every meta than Gohan is, even at 3 stars, Revival Gohan. Why? Okay. The good reason is they're learning how to balance, right? They kind of, maybe they took a page out of Yellow Frieza, Red Cooler, who I don't personally think are bad. I think they're fine Zenkais. Again, they are middle of the pack, what Zenkai should be. Not replacing the LF, not replacing the new hype thing, but good enough sub options so if people want to run that team, oh, well, you can run them because you have a Zenkai for that team. You understand? That's what Zenkai should have been the entire time, but then we had units like LF Gohan. To go back to the point, they're giving us free Zenkai 2 for Piccolo and Turles. Now, I don't think Kid Goku had free Zenkai 2, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't, but they're giving us free Zenkai 2. That's more or less their way, and maybe I'm wrong in reading this, of saying, okay, here, we kind of get it. Zenkais that aren't LFs, again, I do think LF Zenkais will be abhorrently crazy, that aren't LFs will be kind of toned down and will even help you guys out by giving you guys free Zenkai power to get them done. Because prior to this, we had nothing. We got 0 free Zenkai power. The, booster pack, or whatever it is, for units to get their stars up in Zenkai power up, wasn't necessarily like a boost because it was, what, 2k CC for 1200 Zenkai power? It's not free. You're spending CC still. With this, it's like, okay, sure, Kamikalo's a little turned down than, let's say, Red Gogeta, but if you don't have Kid Buu, then you can make the argument that he's better than Android 21 in some circumstances. Again, in my opinion, I think he's worse, but the same thing with Turles goes. If you don't have Revival Gohan, but you don't have him, and you want to run movies with a purple unit, and maybe you don't have DBS Broly because he hasn't come back in a while, whatever the case is, you could run this Turles, which actually I do think this Turles is better than DBS Broly. The purple one, Transforming Zenkai. I do think he's better. They give you the opportunity, so maybe they're trying to just help everyone out. Now again, this is me being very, very optimistic. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just woke up from my nap I just took and I'm like, alright, maybe Legends is doing something correct. But now, the opposite standpoint. They are doing this as very good bait. So I'll be honest. Not a lot of people are going to Zenkai these characters. You know, I Zenkai everything because I upload. People want to see them if they're worth it, right? I'll showcase them. If you guys think they're worth it, you'll do it yourself. If you guys don't think you're worth it, you won't do it. That's just how it works, right? That's why showcase is what people do. That's why people do it. So you guys know and are informed, and to see the highlight of the newest, hottest thing, so you can make an informed decision, not just, oh, here's an opinion. No, you see the actual gameplay, you see the actual unit, and you kind of understand, okay, good or bad. Simple, right? Now, this could also be baiting. Okay, just hear me out, right? So let's say this Blue Piccolo, Turles, and GT Goku are all mid. This could be baiting into us anticipating future Zenkais will be mid. Now, this is very tinfoil hat theory, but understand, all of Legends is tinfoil hat theory. Any discussion is tinfoil hat theory, so it's not anything set in stone, not anything factual. It's just my guess of what could be coming. Personally, I do believe the optimistic side more. They are actually learning. But a part of me does believe what I'm about to explain. So, these guys are all mid. Right. So let's say we get a Yellow DKP Zenkai next, who's strong. Yellow DKP is strong, but he's not game-breaking. He's very good. Just like Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Another one would be, let's say... a Fat Buu is pretty close to game-breaking, but he's very strong. I'll say him. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Da Vegeta's kind of been, like, toned down once people learn that Gogeta Blue is as good as he is. With that, let's say we get something like Yellow DKP, right? So we get a mildly good Zenkai compared to Kamikalo and Turles. He's a very good unit. Okay, and then we're like, well, what do we see from here that's coming? Then we get an LF Zenkai. It's like, okay, well, LF Super Vegito here is fucking ridiculous. LF Frieza, LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, whoever it is, Zenkai is fucking abhorrent. And then we kind of continue this repeat of a trend where it's, you get a couple mid Zenkais, so you have a reason to summon for the LF. Again, a good reason to bait you into summoning for an LF is to have a mid Zenkai, right? You wouldn't want to get the mid Zenkai, you want to get the strong LF. That's how that works. It is a gacha game, remember? Then they give us a very strong Zenkai with maybe, let's say, I don't know, let's say Majub it comes, right? When he comes out in a few days here. And then Sin Shenron gets a Zenkai in 2 weeks. And Sin Shenron, he can go neutral, right? Sin Shenron can go neutral on his second life. And then he has abhorrent strike attack and blast attack, and he does crazy damage, and he replaces Majub. But he's that strong Zenkai we got while we just got 3 medium ones. You see what I'm kind of trending toward? They could do that. Now, I, again, don't really anticipate that's going to happen. You know, firstly, I don't even think GT's going to get another buff for another year after this banner. But I don't think they're going to do that trend. I just think it's a plausible situation to where they want you to pull for the greatest thing. But let's say a Majub and the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku come. And then 2 weeks later, we get a Sin Shenron Zenkai. Okay, you thought Majub was really good because he replaces Gogeta, Gogeta Blue in some circumstances on a lot of people's teams, depending their stars, obviously. And then, plop, we get Sin Shenron Zenkai, who replaces Majub. Fusions just has Majub, that's great. You have Majub or Gogeta Blue compete over, but then you just wasted, I don't know, 12k CC trying to get a 9-star Majub, and now you have a Sin Shenron who's most likely 14 stars, if not very high, that replaces your Majub tenfold over on a GT-based team. Now, that circumstance is very iffy, right? Because GT is very expensive. The best GT team is very expensive. It's triple Zenkais. It's number 2 right there, number 5, and number 8. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super 17, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. That's the best GT team. Hands down, no doubt. You can't argue with me. That's it. The other units that are sub-options are all the anniversary units, right? You would have, even this Zenkai 7 GT Kid Goku. He's a sub-option for your red. You don't really care about him. Even with him being strike-based, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is just so much better. Even if he doesn't flow with Super Saiyan 4 Goku is great, which he does, actually, because, you know, every time Goku does a strike, he increases sustained blast damage up to the enemy, then you swap into Vegeta, do all that, blah, blah, blah. He's just a sub-option to Vegeta. Even him being strike-based, you would want double strike-based together, you think, no. He's just a good sub-option. Then Super 17 is playing the green cards to give Goku card draw speed infinitely, the green cards to change Vegeta's strikes to blast, all that shit, they flow great together. Again, with the sub-options being Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Ice, Nova, whatever else the case is. Maybe that example is not the greatest, but it's an example that's more... It's more time-based, right? That is the most recent example that could happen. Now, let's give another one. Yellow Vegito. Yeah, you didn't think about him. What if he Zenkais in 2 weeks? Because we get Zenkai every 2 weeks. That's not going to change. I promise you. That's not changing anytime soon. What if he Zenkais every 2 weeks? Or in 2 weeks. Yeah, Majub is useless. Just going to be straight up with you. Majub will be completely useless. A transforming Zenkai. And him not starting off as Super Saiyan. They won't nerf him as a Super Saiyan. They'll make him good because he's not starting off as a Super Saiyan. He will be fucking ridiculous, and you'll say bye-bye to Majub. Now, it falls in that same boat of, oh, but if you're a GT main, then it doesn't really matter, it doesn't affect you. Well, that's just argument's sake, right? Like, you can main every fucking team in the game, it won't affect you. But, let's say you main the bigger team of Fusion Warrior, where every single year that's getting buffed out the ass. We just got 5 fusions this anniversary, with, you know, a lot of them being replaced on release. But we got 5 fusions this anniversary. You have Yellow Vegito come out when you just rock 15k CC for Majub, and you bought the, you know, mission, well, not, I don't know if it's called mission plan, the booster pack to get his stars up to 6 stars? Well, now you have Yellow Vegito Zenkai, now you're down 22k CC. I don't know. Personally, I think they could do either circumstance, predatory or not. Again, this is a gacha game. Again, we are getting even a new implementation of another Battle Pass-esque thing where you have to buy equipment space. You buy team slots. It's not free. It's literally a quality life update put into a monetary system. So, I don't know. You could be optimistic and say they're learning, they're trying to figure it out, they're kind of getting it where these Zenkais aren't the greatest phenomenal thing in the world, but against these specific tags, they will be very good. In specific situations, they will shine more than the LF. But, in generalization, they are not better than the LF. I like that. I really, really fucking like that. But I don't anticipate that to hold true forever. Again, at least with LF Zenkais, I feel like they're going to be the top echelon of the game. They don't care. They want them to be number 1. I get it. You know, your LFs are the ones you have to chase the hardest for because you need to get them 7 stars to even Zenkai them. They don't come back as often, unlike, you know, maybe these celebration banners like 3+, the guaranteed LF step up, whatever. Guaranteed LF step up, guaranteed LF step up multi Z power banner and guaranteed LF banner, right? They don't come back that often. They're not very updated, the banners. Like, they're pretty goddamn late, to be honest with you. So, they want that to be number 1. I get it. Until Ultras become summonable, then they'll want Ultras be number 1. Then they'll probably have LF Zenkais not mean as much, and probably tone them down. But for now, LF Zenkais are going to be the top tier thing, but General Zenkais, in my opinion, seem to be doing a good trend of simmering down, not being the dominant force of Jesus himself fucking your anus while you're just trying to live in PvP where Red Gogeta's gonna 2-card you. This Piccolo can 2-card you, sure. If you're a red unit, Super Gogeta can 2-card you off Bardock crits. If you're any unit, he doesn't give a shit. It doesn't matter. That's my whole thing. They're understanding what to do. I just hope they continue the trend. Let me know what you guys think, if they are actually starting to tone down Zenkais and learning how to actually do it. Or do you think this is kind of baiting us into something that's a bigger mistake? Because Legends typically does the process of 2 steps forward, a couple steps back. They kind of do that very often. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.